as you can hear, but maybe not see. Oh, I've got a very bad back. So, I've had it for the last week, but it's getting worse and worse. It's where I can't, when I'm standing up, sitting down, I'm okay, but when I go from sitting down to stand up, to try and straighten out my back, it's very difficult. It's like, the pain is like someone's got a baseball bat and smacked me straight on the back. Anyway, that's the side point at the moment. Come back from the hospital, it's 9 o'clock. Spent 12 hours there. And the good news is, my wife, alhamdulillah, came out of hospital okay. She's back in the ward. After I last talked to you, obviously it was during the operation. And that was a very long wait. And I think 1 o'clock she came out. It was 9:17 now, on the 27th of June, 2007. So I think the operation took an hour and a half and recovery was an hour. She came out without the tube in her mouth. No blood pressure problems, no breathing problems. And everything seemed okay. She was actually, out of all the operations, I think she said 8, and I've seen how many? 5. This is my 5th. I've seen 6 I've seen out of the 8 or 9 she's had. And she seemed very lively out of this one, and she was quite awake, able to get herself off because they have different beds for the operation and for the trolley. She got off the bed and onto a normal ward bed, which I didn't expect her to be able to do, and she was talking, she was groggy, but she looked a lot better, so that was good. Obviously, we still wait the results of her eye. One of the doctors did come along to try and read an eye pressure, but he couldn't get one because the eye was too soft because of the operation, but he said on looking at it, it looked good. And he told us the procedure went well, so we might, let's hope that tomorrow when they do the test, and they might send home tomorrow or on Friday. So all the worry's gone now, all the worry that was there before. During our operation, after I went back, after doing the piece to camera, I sat on the bench in where we sat the day before together. I had a cup of tea and I brought my notepad back from here, and I wrote 4 poems, which it'd be interesting because people often ask me where do the poems come from, and sometimes it's difficult for me to explain because it's not quite as easy to point out where different points come from, because some points of the poems come from something that's happened immediately, and some are drawn from from experiences or from a long time ago that just come into my mind. Even if it's a current thing I'm writing about, something might come from the past that reminds me of that. So it'd be interesting. You've got all what I've been saying, and then you'll be able to see these poems, where they come from, because some of them seem a bit abstract sometimes. You think, why was I writing that? What was I talking about? And then you can, because it doesn't always say in the poem. I think there's one where it says something like, the first one I wrote as I was walking back, I got the line, time played a part in her destiny. It's the first 2 lines. And obviously, if you read that poem without the context of this, you won't know what I'm talking about, but now you'll realise that I'm talking about the time of the operation. It plays part in her destiny, how it will turn out. And there's 4 of them I think I wrote. Unfortunately, I've left the notepad at the hospital, so I have to get it tomorrow. Hopefully it's still there. I'm trying to think what else happened. I was talking to this old lady as well while I was waiting for her to come back from recovery. So I got there about 12:30, I think, after writing the poem, so I thought I gave her a bit of time. And she wasn't back yet, so I was talking to one of the old ladies across the room on the TV going now. She's 85, and she was all on her own, so I wanted to make sure that she started talking to me about the weather, and I carried on and asked her about her operation, and that she was living on her own, and how different generations are, because she she walks up and down, and she drags herself to the toilet, lives on her own. It's quite amazing. When you see today's generations, you get a small thing, they can't do it. Whereas, she's gone through an operation, she's talking about wanting to go home tomorrow. So that was very interesting. And, sad and poignant in a way, because she was talking about her husband as well, and that he only had 1 year of life after retirement. And when she was saying she was living on her own, and I suspect this will end up in a poem, that's why I'm telling you now. And that was quite sad. And that no one was with her as she was going through the operation, because her daughters are very busy. And what else happened? Not much really. It was just sitting with her. It was a relief that she was out. Also with Leon, we were talking about how the dedication of the staff, and how much dedication of what they do, even though sometimes they come across to hard notice, a bit gruff, because she talks a lot and she asks a lot of questions, and they sometimes appear a bit blunt. They don't mean it in a hurtful way, but obviously they're dealing with lots of patients, but she still talks about them so wonderfully. And how she was also saying how the new generation, they don't want to do anything, and and I think she was suggesting that you got the older generation and the middle generation that are helping people, and then you've got this younger generation who just want to sit at home. I left her just now, and she's very much better, much better. So it's all gone well. We wait for the results tomorrow. Anyway, I'm going to have that tea to help my back and help these Nurofen work a bit better. I'll see if I can get you some more information, and those poems I'll read out tomorrow.